1, 2, 3.
Ready. Newsstand versus Newsletter embarks on a journey of a classic wrestling year. Were the PWI readers accurate with their assessment of talent? Were the Wrestling Observer newsletter subscribers more right than wrong? Join longtime friends Scotty and Andrew as they talk about Newsstand versus Newsletter.
Welcome to another episode of Newsstand versus Newsletter. I am your host, the future Hall of Famer Scotty B. I bring my co-host in here, Mr. Andrew. No last name needed. And my cat in the background meowing because he's an asshole. My cat's an asshole. My cat just paces. I swear to God. He's on crack. He'll just pace around the house meowing. But for no apparent reason. And then he'll just take a nap. It's like, oh,
you know why?
Why?
Because cats are amazing hunters and he just wants to kill and you're not letting him kill.
What am I going to get him to kill? He's in the house.
That's the thing. When you're inside, you just,
let me explain something with my cat. My cat's an idiot. So I have a backyard, as you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll open the door, like, go ahead. Go inside. He'll look. No, fuck that. It's like, well, then shut the fuck up. Then shut up. Stop meowing. Like, I love my cat, but God damn it. Like, he's pacing around the house. Anyway, we are going into the year 2007, which is a very infamous year in pro wrestling history because something happened. Something big kind of happened that year. And interesting awards. I did not watch Match of the Year. I apologize. I was working last night. My reel machine to do, I convert tapes. Now, the machine I bought to convert reels broke already. One day in, it fucking broke, man. And as we record this, it is December 22nd. People want their shit by December 24th. So it's going to be a crazy couple days for me. So question to you, let's go to 2007.
Sure.
I don't have much memory of 2007. What's your memory of 2007, if you can remember it?
Well, I went to St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. I visited right around Christmas time. Mm-hmm. Also, that year was the year I moved into the apartment that I have now.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Yep. And up until my current relationship, my at that point, longest relationship came to an end in 2007 as well.
Yeah, that wasn't the worst thing that happened to you. Unless she was watching. Sorry if you're watching, but she's not.
I don't think so.
She doesn't
know. Imagine?
She need to fucking deleting that shit.
Well, once this goes viral, when you start choking to death and I have to finish the thing.
Maybe she's the one who reported the other stuff. All the other videos. That's what it is. It's her. 2007, I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. It was very cloudy.
You were living with Chris.
Yeah, I was living with my buddy Chris. I got a relationship the year before. I was in one then. I think I was kind of just floating around the girl to girl kind of thing, just doing my thing. I was dating a girl that you're well aware of that forgot to pick you up once. Me and her were dating at that point. She forgot to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah.
Forgot. I'm using them words in quotations. Oh, I slept in till 3:30. Sorry. She was like that back then too. Yeah. Anyway, I better not put this on my fucking page. So that was that, really. But I'll tell you something. We'll get right into the Benoit thing because I want to tell you a story with the Benoit thing. Well, everyone knows what happened. So I remember the night before, me and Chris were going to get the pay-per-view for Benoit and Punk. That was the main reason that's all we wanted it for.
What else was even on that card? Do you know?
I don't know. But anyway, it was before you could really just we could download stuff, but you just wanted to get it. So regardless, we were going to get it for CM Punk and Benoit. I remember Chris comes out of his room and says, "Oh, Benoit's sick. He's not going to be there." I said, "Oh, well, I'm not getting that pay-per-view."
I forget. Who was his replacement?
John Morrison. So I remember, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Monday afternoon, me and the lady friend that forgot to pick up at the airport, we go to that city the airport's located in, which is pretty amusing, to help her friend move. So we're doing our thing. And this is so I get a phone call from Chris. And Chris says to me, "Are you sitting down?" I thought my cat got killed. Well, my cat's dead. What the fuck, right? And he's like, Benoit was found dead in his home with his family. And two things happen here. I want to say two things. I wasn't like, oh my god, because it's pro wrestling. So it's like, oh, whatever. Another person's dead. And secondly, my first thought was gas leak.
Yeah.
So now, and then that's how I found out. I came home, we'll watch Raw, and Raw was crazy because nobody knew what was going on. Chris thought Sullivan killed them. Like, he's the first, second, all that bullshit. And then it came out right after Raw that, because I remember going like to the news right afterwards, and it was already reported in the news right after Raw that he had murdered his family. And I
for me, oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. No, you go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
For me, at that time, I didn't have the internet at home, so I would use internet cafes. And I remember going to the cafe and going on a message board I went to, and it was like there was a thread, R.I.P. Chris Benoit. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Like,
couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, oh, huge. He was my, like, after Brett retired, he was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And then I remember walking home, and actually, before I even went home, I think I went to the London Drugs and bought a blank tape. And it was the first blank tape I had bought in ages because I had, transitioned over to DVD. But I knew I wanted to tape the Benoit Memorial show on Raw that night. Yeah. Because I remember reading about it on the message board. They said that the show was canceled to fans. They were just going to be showing Benoit matches. And I thought, I wonder if it's going to be just matches from the DVD. And
it basically was,
Yeah.
They basically the DVD,
And, having little talking head segments like Regal, he was very apprehensive.
And it's so normal. It was so normal. Like, someone's dead. Let's just talk. Like, they've done it twice already, Owen and Eddie. It's just like, oh, yeah, we got the format right down.
Pillman, too.
Yeah. Did they do a whole thing with Pillman?
Well, kind of. They had the 10-bell salute, and they had the Melanie interview. And I think that they had a couple of wrestlers talking about it, but it wasn't nearly as much as it was with Eddie and Owen.
So anyway, keep going. So you get home, do your thing.
But yeah, I get home and I tape it, and I remember putting as my Facebook status, rest in peace, Chris Benoit.
Yeah, you told me this.
And I go to work the next day, and there's a comment on there saying, I can't believe you would say rest in peace to that monster. I was like, what? And then I read all about it, and it just became all-consuming. And for me, it took me out of professional wrestling for about 4 years.
Yeah, see, for me, I remember the next day getting up. And, like, after it happened, it's like, okay, Benoit kills family. And it's pro wrestling. Like, everyone watching this understands it. It's like nothing surprises you in this business. Because it's just like, okay. So I go to bed. I'm thinking, pretty nuts.
There's one thing that would surprise me. If Raw all of a sudden became watchable again, I mean, that would be quite shocking. Happen.
But anyway, so I go to bed. I'm thinking, Benoit killed his family. Okay, well, I go to bed, go to sleep. I wake up the next day, go out to the living room. I wake up early, like, mid-morning, throw on the TV, throw on CNN, and there it is all fucking day. And then Nancy Grace, that dirty whore, got a hold of it and just spun it. He's mad because he got the motor from the Four Horsemen. You dumb fucking bitch. It was like years ago.
Well, that's what it was, actually. Because he went from the Horsemen to ECW, he was like, fuck this, my son and my wife are dead.
Like, it was so bad. I'll tell you who came off really. Was it Jericho? I think Jericho and Nash came off really good. Because I think, didn't Nash like grease Nancy Grace right out?
Well, yeah, he said something along the lines of, how come nobody mentions the wine bottle? They always go to the steroids. They don't go to the alcohol.
Yeah.
Because there was an empty bottle of wine beside his rotting corpse. Also, just as an aside, what a coward. You're going to kill your wife and son? Go on trial. I mean, own up to it. But he's a little bitch. He's dead now anyway.
Yeah, well, it's too bad that it happened because we were big fans. I remember WrestleMania 20 viewing party at my apartment where we all freaked out when he won the belt. But it's like, well, you fucked up your whole legacy, buddy. And that kid, I feel bad for his kid. But I've heard stories about his kid that his kids had a lot of opportunities and just keeps quitting.
Yeah, but I mean,
how can you do anything at that point?
Also, whether it be Arn Anderson's kid or Taz's kid or any of these people, they didn't have the passion and the love for it themselves. They just were born into it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great second and third generation wrestlers, but there's a lot that are like, well, I tried to go football or baseball or whatever, and I couldn't hack it, so I'm going to give this wrestling stuff a shot.
Just to go in, and then we'll get into the sports side of it. Like, it goes back to, like, my father raised horses for years, right? That was his whole life. And my family was all involved in it. Now, don't get me wrong, I like it. but I'm not passionate like they were. Like, I'm not obsessive over it. Like, I do the Facebook page and the podcasting and stuff. But, you know, they like that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Not everybody has that in them. Like, you know, not everybody has that passion in them. Like, for me to race horses, I would never want to do that because I don't want to die.
You'd be dead.
But anyway, yeah. So anyway, let's get into the sports of 2007, and then we'll jump right into the awards here. So in the NFL, listen to this first overall pick. The NFL 2007. The NFL 2007 draft was held on April 28th to 29th in New York City's Music Hall. With the first pick, the Oakland Raiders selected quarterback Jamarcus Russell.
I was doing my guess. Yeah.
And I want to tell you a funny story about him. Did you ever hear the story about him in the DVD? Because I'm going to tell it anyway.
I don't think so.
So Jamarcus Russell, first off, holds out. So he doesn't even go to training camp. He holds out. He gets to training camp. He's like fucking 260. He's massive, right? And it's not 260 of like weight, of like muscle. It's fat.
I hear it. It's funny because it reminds me of, what's that basketball player's name that was supposed to be a big stud a couple years ago, and he hasn't even played like 2 games.
I have an idea. I can't remember his name, but
yeah.
Can you just hold on a second? Can you hold on 1 second? I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'll entertain the people. So as Scott's dealing with his feline, I'm going to try to find the name of this basketball player that, if you're watching this at this point, you're probably screaming at your TV saying, "It's this guy." I just Googled fat basketball player to see what I can find. Oh.
All right, we're back. See, the funny thing about that was he wanted to get outside, but it's freezing rain out. So that gave up on that idea real fucking quick. He's like, fuck that. So anyway, Jamarcus Russell. Well, I'm sorry, did I cut you off? We were talking to the audience that doesn't watch our show.
I was trying to find the name of that fucking basketball player that...
I know who it is. I heard his name a couple days ago, actually.
Zion Williamson.
Yeah, he's played like 3 games, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just big guy.
Yeah. So anyway, Jamarcus Russell comes to training camp overweight. He sucks. It's the fucking Raiders anyway. Who gives a shit? But anyway, so he's horrible. Like, his first couple years of garbage. So what they do is they say to him, "Oh, we got this DVD with all the plays for like next week on it. I want you to take it home and take a look at it."
You remember you saying this.
I'm gonna tell the rest of the story.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no problem. They get back the next day or whatever, day or 2 later. What'd you think? Oh, they were great. Yeah, the DVD was blank. Fucking blank DVD. And that was it. Then they cut them. That was it. Like, you're out of here. So
that was like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, that goes to saying first overall picks aren't always a gimme. Like, I mean, everyone thinks that Trevor Lawrence is a gimme. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a gimme at all. I think he's a bust. And I'll say that because people say, well, Peyton had a bad first year. But the deal with Peyton was he had a good running game and he had a team built around him. Trevor Lawrence is not good. He's going to be shit. And Urban Meyer's a fucking psycho. Go ahead.
See, I think it's like a Sam Darnold situation where as soon as he's with a coach that knows what he's fucking doing and a team that doesn't self-destruct every week and piss down their leg, I think then he may be like an Andy Dalton style quarterback that will be consistent. He won't like light up any highlight reels, but you can't judge somebody, A, based on their first year, and also if they're with the Jaguars. Who's the best quarterback of all time? Blake fucking...
No, Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell was really good back in the day. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I know what you mean. I just don't think Lawrence has it, regardless where he goes. Okay. So NFL, best record in 2007.
Patriots.
What was the record?
Was it 15 or 16-0?
16-0.
Yeah.
Worst record?
Detroit.
Dolphins, 1-15.
Oh.
Yeah. The Dolphins now have won 7 in a row, which is fucking wild. 6 in a row. Sorry, we won. Kansas City's won 7 in a row. And in the Super Bowl, who won the Super Bowl?
Was that the Giants?
Giants over the Patriots. I lost a bunch of money that night. Patriots were a 17-point favorite in that fucking game. Giants were the last wild card team. They were the last fucking wild card team, 9-7. And I'll tell you about the Giants that year. Remember this? They were talking about firing Coughlin halfway through the year because they were having a bad year. And then, well, I guess they didn't do that.
What's his face was still on the team, wasn't he? The guy that's a talk show host now?
Yeah. What's his name? Defensive guy. Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
Strahan. Yeah. All right. So MLB. Best records with an S.
Was it Yankees and Seattle?
Boston and Cleveland, 96 and 66. Worst record. The actual complete opposite of that. This is funny.
That's happened a few times.
Yeah, weird, right? Yeah.
Was it Cincinnati?
Tampa Bay, 66 and 96. And the Red Sox beat the Rockies 4-0 in the World Series. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, obviously by the sweater. And this is actually no. What one's this? This is the one from 14.
Do you even remember that series?
Yeah, it was boring. They had them the whole thing. Like by game 2, we knew it was over. Colorado didn't have a shot against Boston. Boston was too stacked. I remember the ALCS better because they played Cleveland, and I went to game 1. I told you that I went to game 1 of the LCS because my sister got married. She was in Boston, and we got scalped.
Oh, they didn't do it in St. John.
No, they can't. It's too crazy here. They try to get it here. They've been trying to get the Super Bowl here forever, but St. John's is like, no, get the fuck out of here.
It's so busy.
Like, yeah, it's just nuts. But I went to game 1. I went to game 1 with a girl that didn't pick up at the airport. And that girl didn't pick up at the airport said, oh, is this a big deal? I'm like, is it a big deal? It was ALCS. That one, they blew them out. It was funny. They blew out, Boston blew out Cleveland. And around 6 in, they got people, we were out in the outfield. This was like way in the outfield. And they were bringing people down behind the home plate to sit there for the cameras. This was kind of cool. Yeah. All right, NBA. Best record.
Lakers?
Dallas Mavericks 67 and 15. Worst records.
Raptors?
Memphis 22 and 60. So the Spurs beat Cleveland 4-0 in the finals. Dallas was out in the first round.
Who was that? Who did they lose to? The Spurs?
Golden State.
And that was before Golden State became Golden State.
Yeah, it was that good. And last but not least, the NHL.
Was it Detroit?
Buffalo. 53, 22, and 7. 2007. Worst record.
Was it Minnesota?
Flyers 22, 48, and 12. And the Anaheim Mighty Ducks beat the Ottawa Senators 4-1 in the Stanley Cup final. I'll tell you a funny story about that. Another person, Aaron, I'll leave it at that. I was working at a call center and he was in operations. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was like a Saturday afternoon and the Senators were playing the Ducks. And I wanted to get out of work. Me and this other guy. And I said, well, can I leave to go watch the game? And Aaron's like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, well, I want to leave to watch the game. And Aaron said, name me 3 players on each team. I'll let you leave. And the guy's like, he's like, then you're not leaving.
Alexander Dad.
It was pretty funny. So, last, before we get into the awards, in memoriam. Holy sweet fuck, we're going to be here till like 9:30 at night.
There's a few.
2007, there's a death every 3 hours.
If you want, you can interject at any time if you have any thoughts or memories about that particular wrestling personality. But in 2007, here are the wrestling personalities who left us. Brian Crush Adams.
I felt bad for him. He wasn't horrible, but that demolition thing was not good for him. That was bad for him. Thank God he kind of bounced off that, went back to the face crush, which I actually didn't mind face crush. I didn't mind him. I thought it was kind of cool. I like the theme music.
Honestly, I think they could have went a little further with him. I mean, I know we've discussed this a few times on the episode, but when he lifts up Yokozuna during the 4th of July Intrepid Challenge, the fans bought it. They could have went with Crush. It would have made more sense than a guy who just the week before was, looking in the mirror, kissing his muscles. But exactly. I'm not a billionaire, so what do I know?
You're a millionaire. You're a millionaire. You're not a billionaire.
Yeah, just in spirit. Bad News Allen.
Love Bad News Allen. And as I was saying before, for anyone watching this, 2 things. If you can find his full shoot interview, please link it in the comments because I can only find parts of it. His shoot interview is easily the best one you'll ever see. It is awesome. He is super. He seems super nice, super cool.
Gives no fucks.
Honest, doesn't give a fuck. He's very, very honest, but seems like a genuine, really nice guy.
Little Andre. I'm assuming that was a little person that had an Andre gimmick. The Angel of Death.
I don't remember that much. Go ahead.
Mike Awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Angel Azteca, Sandy Barr.
Oh my God, Sandy Barr.
Yeah, Sandy Barr died. Countess Victoria de Boles, Chris Benoit, Daniel Benoit, Nancy Benoit.
Oh my God! I like how they list.
Chris, how about Nancy? In my opinion, the greatest manager of all time.
She was so hot.
The
when
best.
when she would fuck with Gene on the air, I don't know how Gene just wasn't grabbing a hold of her and just, fuck this shit. Because I'll tell you right now, if she was doing that to me, I would have been fired right away. I would in the back, just be like, "Let's."
I'm sure Kevin would have no issues with that either. Or
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, whatever. Fuck you. You're gonna kill her anyway in a couple years. I'm gonna take her from you.
True. Devil Budokan, Bam Bam Bigelow.
I liked Bigelow, but man, when he turned face in '95, that was bad.
Oh, death.
That stunk.
He needed to go to ECW to revitalize his career.
Yeah.
Monty Black, Frank Butcher, El Caballero Rojo, Abe Coleman, Billy Darnell, Jack Dempsey.
We're only in the D's? Holy shit, dude. Keep going.
Dave Diamond, the Equalizer, and I don't believe this is the Equalizer who is also Evad Sullivan, Dave Sullivan.
No, he's still alive, I'm pretty sure.
Different fella. Sean Evans, Buster Fowler, Doug Gentry, the original owner of ROH, Ronnie P. Gossett, Carl Gotch, J.R. Hogg, Tor Kamada, John Cronus, one half of the Eliminators, yeah. Ernie Ladd, Karloff Lagrad, Cowboy Lang, Lightning Lenny, Bronco Lubitsch, Bob Luce, the Great Malenko, of course, Dean and Joe's dad, Lita Perez.
He died in 07. He couldn't have died in 2007. They were using him as an angle in 97.
Oh, yeah. There must have been somebody else that went by the Great Malenko.
Yeah.
Give your own names. Okay, let me just say this. If you're in a wrestling school or a performance center or wherever it is that you're learning your craft to be a professional wrestler, sports entertainer someday, have your own original name.
Oh, yeah. That's bullshit. Yeah, it's Great Malenko. I'm pretty sure he died, I think in 92, 93, something like that. Summers of the 90s.
There are some exceptions, like if you, we live in the internet age now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was thinking Steve Riedel because there was Mr. Electricity Steve Riedel beforehand, but Steve Riedel was in England, and so you could kind of forgive him for maybe not knowing.
I'm just laughing about that cab ride we had one time, and that guy was telling us that bullshit in the cab. That was fucking great. Everyone it was. I like how you just went along with it. Like it made the guy feel like you're much better than I am. And I'm going to tell a story. Keep going. Remind me to tell the story because who gives a shit how long we go? I'm going to tell the story about that once we're done the in memoriam. So go ahead.
Sure. Lita Merez, El Gran Marcus, Sherry Martel, who of course died the week before Benoit, which of course didn't cause Vince to break character about how he was dead. It took killing your wife and son for that to happen. James C. Melby, the missing link.
Always fascinated by Missing Link. Always fascinated by Missing Link. Who is that? That Moolah?
That's Fabulous Moolah.
She died in 07. I thought she died later than that. Huh.
No, died in 07.
That was very random when she died. You kind of didn't see that coming. She was just dead. I mean, she was old, but
she was super old. She even gets one of the pictures on the in memoriam along with Mike Austin.
Well, I wonder about all them women she pimped out. Did they get pictures too?
Probably.
I'm Zach move Murray, mic, and hopefully it doesn't cut out. Go ahead.
Sonny Myers, Moondog Nathan, which is so funny.
Just some random dude. Some guy named Nathan. Hey, you're Moondog now. Well, I was Moondog Scott for a while.
You were. You still are on my Facebook chats. Yeah. Ivan Radikaj, Isaac Rain.
So was Ivan Pusky.
Tracy Richards, Dean Ross, Coco Samoa, El Santanas, Arnold Stoland.
Yeah.
Tom Stanton, Mike Steele, Ray Stern, Eugene Stesky, Princess Tona Tama, Enrique Torres, Ray Urbano, Beef Wellington, who was, of course, Benoit's partner on Clash 19, and Scotty Williams. Now, please tell the taxi story.
I'll tell two stories, and then we'll get into the awards. The taxi story, I don't remember. I just remember the guy was a fucking weirdo. He was telling all this bullshit. I think you know more about it than I do, because I don't remember much about it.
Well, for some reason, as soon as people find out you're a wrestling fan, they just want to...
Some bullshit with you?
Let you know about what they don't know, pretty much. I mean...
yeah, basically.
Because nobody challenges them. It's like every interview with Hulk Hogan, he's going to mention how Undertaker broke his neck in 1974. Eventually, somebody's going to say, oh, you mean when Taker was like 11 in school and you were playing bass?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but keep going.
And this guy was just talking about how with ICW, Big John Studd or King Kong Bundy was the champion, and you can challenge them, but then you risk being kicked from their cab, so you just...
Or being a complete asshole. So I'm going to tell you my story. I was working at a call center, and I just started there, and I was going over some bullshit. I was going over some tickets and stuff. So I'm sitting at my desk, and I mean, I just started like that day. It was like that day. So I'm sitting at my desk, and as you see as a call center, if anyone knows, it's like fucking a row of monkeys. There's rows of people, right? So I'm sitting there doing my work, and this guy behind me I knew he was an idiot. He's like that guy when you went to school and you're the new guy and he tries to hook on to you because he's a fucking loser. And then you realize a week later, oh my God, this guy's an idiot. That was one of these guys. Yeah. He's chatting with the guy next to him about pro wrestling. And I'm keeping to myself. He's like, yeah, I had dinner with Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan here in 1996. Talking shit like that. I'm like, oh my God, man. And I'm trying. And the worst part was.
Well, it's possible. I mean, they may have heard about Keddy's restaurant and decided, we have to go there.
The thing that's the worst thing about it was the guy that he was telling it to didn't know pro wrestling since I was telling the truth. So he's going on and on and on. I turned around. I swear on. Well, my cat could die any day now. I don't know. I'll swear on something. I'll swear on Christmas. Yeah. I turned around and said, "This guy, you are full of shit." And the guy just stopped. I said, "Hogan and Savage didn't come here in 1996. They were in WCW. WCW didn't work New Brunswick, Canada in 1996." He's like, "Well, I did." I'm like, "No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't do that. You didn't do it. That didn't happen." And I just remember turning around.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many tours they were doing. It's entirely possible that they were on a break between Nitro and there was no Thunder.
I remember doing that, and it was like, I just thought to myself, I am the biggest asshole.
Yep.
But whatever. I don't care, man. Don't bullshit me because I'll call you out on it. All right, enough of the storytelling time. We're 25 minutes.
It's award times.
It's award time. So let's say you go first, and I'll guess you're the rookie of the year. I'm gonna guess Ted DiBiase Jr. What the hell's that? AJ Styles?
Close. It's Hornswoggle.
Holy fuck.
Hornswoggle wins Rookie of the Year.
What a fucking wrestler, man. What the fuck is this shit?
26% of the vote. And
26% of idiots voted that one. Sorry, go ahead.
And that's why this is a picture of not AJ Styles. It's little
I thought it was AJ Styles. But I'm like, why the fuck's he a rookie in 2007?
Nope. First runner-up was Ted DiBiase Jr. With 15%. Second runner-up is Pele Primo with 12%. Third runner-up is Mike DiBiase with 11%. I don't know what he's doing now.
Is he in prison?
I think so. Votes for others totaling 36% include Mike Reed, Lince Dorado, Crossbones, Vladimir Kozlov, Layla L, and Hydra.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike DiBiase is in prison, or they're all going to prison. They're all going to prison. Fucking Ted's going with them soon.
Yep.
Once they want that fucking money back, he is $1 million man. All right. Guess my rookie of the year.
Is it Ted DiBiase Jr.?
Is not. Oh. Eric Stevens.
Oh.
Yeah, who's retired?
I don't like the way he spells his name.
Whatever. I don't really care. Number 2, Joe Doring, Tom Dunce, Love Sabroda, Cyber Kong, Ted DiBiase Jr., Ted McNeeler, and Bobby Dempsey. Yeah, so I don't know. I've never seen Eric Stevens, but I'm going to get him over Hornswoggle. I'll pick him over Hornswoggle. Who the fuck? What in the fuck's happening here?
I'm calling shenanigans to that because if you don't know him, how do you know he's better than Hornswoggle?
Because anything's better than Hornswoggle. So get the
hey,
fuck out of
have you ever seen WLC with him against El Torito? That was a good bloody match where they had a little mini ladder. It was great.
Well, I don't care. I'm picking the other guy. All right. Enough of that jazz. Most improved. You pick mine first.
Oof. Is it The Miz?
MVP. Yep. MVP wins it. Tom goes number 2. Takeshi Motohama. Is that right? I think I said that right. Candice Michelle, Jeff Hardy, Umaga, John Cena, Bautista. I'm guessing for you. Hold on. Give me a second to guess. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess Umaga. Sorry.
Candice Michelle.
They didn't have good matches in WWE back then for the women. What are they fucking talking about?
I think this is when Finlay was
Oh yeah, they were doing okay. Yeah, okay.
She wins it with 24%. First runner-up is Jay Lethal with 19%, MVP with 15%, Cody Rhodes with 10%, and honorable mentions totaling 32% of the vote included Big Daddy V, Abyss, the Briscoe Brothers, The Miz, The Great Khali, John Morrison, Eric Young, Robert Roode, Elijah Burke, and the Major Brothers.
All right. I'll go with MVP.
Yeah.
All righty. Jump into the next award. Most popular, which I use most underrated because they don't have it in there. So I'm going to go most popular for you, Mr. John Cena.
You're correct, sir.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth, buddy. There you
What
go.
a beast, by the way, you know? I mean, in any other era, Cena would be pushed as like a warlord, road warrior type guy. Yeah. Instead, people buy him selling for guys that are half his size. It's kind of like Hogan in a way.
Well, what's the fans? I'll tell you something funny with that. I had a viewing party one time for Mania, and my friends were over and brought their kid, who was like a teenager, and brought her stupid little boyfriend. And he was chanting John Cena sucks. I'm like, can you explain to me why he sucks? Yeah. I said, just tell me why, because I want to know why. Or are you just chanting because everybody else is chanting it? So
there's reasons why he sucks, but people always get it wrong. They think he's bad in the ring. He's fine.
He's horrible.
There's a lot worse.
He's horrible in the mic.
Sometimes.
Oh, he's bad.
Like, there's sometimes when he goes really like kitty, and there's other times when like he'll own the Rock on the mic, and it's you never know what you're gonna get with Cena. Cena wins it with 48% of the vote. First runner-up is The Undertaker with 14%. Second runner-up is Sting with 8%. Third runner-up is CM Punk with 7% of the vote. And honorable mentions totaling 23%.
Future Hall of Famer Scotty B.
Future Hall of Famer Scotty B. Jeff Hardy.
Captain Lou.
Batista, Samoa Joe, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Rey Mysterio Jr., Abyss, and Bobby Lashley.
All right. So guess my most underrated.
Is it Roderick Strong?
Shelton Benjamin. Good. I agree with that because he was really good back then. Shelton Benjamin, then Jamie Noble, Paul London, Alex Shelley, William Regal, Brian Kendrick, Matt Hardy, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. So that's... Yeah, he'll never retire. Christopher Daniels will be fucking 85. So
he started in 93, and he just recently won the Defy Championship, which is the independent promotion that's just right below me in Washington State.
The next one is going to be most inspirational wrestler for you, most disgusting act for me. So you get to pick first the most disgusting thing.
I'm going to say carrying on with the Benoit tribute after they've...
No, that's not it. No, that's that. When I read this, I was like, wow, am I reading this wrong? But this is what it is. TNA signing Pac-Man Jones and making it.
What?
I know. I was like, Benoit killed his whole fucking family, but don't you dare sign Pac-Man Jones. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare. Number 2 is not Benoit. It's Vince McMahon's death. Go ahead.
Can I just interject here? If you are watching or listening, however, whether it be via podcast or on YouTube, and you are an observer voter, if you vote in the awards, and you just happened to vote in 2007, I would like for you to explain why Pac-Man Jones was a more disgusting promotional tactic than carrying on with the tribute show.
I know.
You know, after finding out that he... Let's go ahead.
It gets better. I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just saying it gets better.
No, that's fine.
Vince McMahon's death is number 2. Number 3 is WWE entire handling of post-Benoit. I think, yeah, okay. Hornswoggle as Vince McMahon's illegitimate son. Great Khali as the world champion. And the last one, WWE carrying on with this show, the Chris Benoit tribute show. So that's I'll tell you, that fucking Hornswoggle one, I was disgusted with that. I wasn't disgusted that Benoit murdered his whole family. They were praising him on TV. No, not at all. That's fucking weirdos. But anyway, you go ahead with your inspiration. I'm going to guess who it is. I'm not Benoit. It'd be really fucked up if it was.
It would be.
I'm going to go Sherry Martel. Sure he died.
Jeff Jarrett.
Why?
I think this was after his wife had cancer and then he came back.
All right, fine. I'll give him that. That's fair.
So he wins it with 19% of the vote. First runner-up is CM Punk with 16%. Second runner-up is John Cena with 15%. Third runner-up is Sting with 10%. And honorable mentions totaling 40% include Ric Flair, Cody Rhodes, Nigel McGuinness, Shawn Michaels, Hornswoggle, Eric Young, Bob Backlund, and The Undertaker.
Bobby Backlund.
Bob Backlund in 2007.
I don't know.
Where was he, in TNA or something?
Probably working indie shows. Doing
Oh my God.
The back. I don't know. It's he's gonna be our new Captain Lou. I'm surprised Captain Lou's came up. The next one is gonna be Tag Team of the Year, and it's it's funny. It's your first. Sorry, your first go. I'm gonna guess DX because I don't have a fucking clue who tag teams were in 07. No. Go ahead.
Too late. It's Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Fair enough. Yep.
They win it with 17% of the vote. First runner-up is Team 3D. That's, of course, the former Dudleys. Second runner-up is the Briscoes with 8%. Third runner-up is Deuce and Domino with 7% of the vote. And honorable mentions totaling 56% include AJ Styles and Travis Tomko, Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, the Hardy Boys, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Latin American Exchange, Montel Vontavious Porter and Matt Hardy, the Steiner Brothers, Triple X, and John Cena and Shawn Michaels.
All right. Guess my tag team of the year.
Is it the Briscoes?
It is the Briscoes. Yes, the Briscoes win it. Let's go take a look at the Briscoes win it. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley is number 2. Kevin Steen and El
Generico. That's Sami Zayn now.
Okay. Giant Bernard and Travis Tomko, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Paul London and Brian Kendrick, Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, Ricky Marvin and Suzuki, and there's a bunch of honorable mentions. So I'll go with the Briscoes on that one.
So far, Wrestling Observer is shutting out PWI in similar awards.
And this is fucking crazy. I'm saying a drink of water for this one. Before we get to the halftime show, the last award is Feud of the Year.
Oh.
And I want you to guess, once you go to it, take your time. Hit up my vape cigarette here. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. Right into the mic. Guess my Feud of the Year.
It's so tough because...
Well, who the fuck was in the 107? I don't know.
I know. Is it Vince and Donald Trump? Oh.
I was like, what? Like, to me, that's just mind-boggling to think that Batista... I know they had a decent Mania match. I remember that. But still, to have a Feud of the Year in the Observer, I can see, like, PWI doing that.
Yeah.
But not... Like, I looked at like, wow. So
that was like when Observer gave your boy Pat McAfee Rookie of the Year, and it was like, that seems like a PWI thing to do.
Boy. Actually, I do like Pat McAfee's podcast.
Yeah, that's why I said
number 2, Bryan Danielson against Morishima. Briscoes against Steen El Generico. Cena Michaels, Matt Hardy, and MVP. Number 6, number 7 doesn't count. Number 8 doesn't count. And Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump, yeah. So weird Feud of the Year. I just find it weird. So I'm going to guess Vince McMahon Donald Trump for you. No, can I go back? Michaels and Cena.
Yeah.
Michaels and Cena.
Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle from Total Nonstop Action. They win it with 30% of the vote. First runner-up is Batista versus Undertaker with 18%.
Yeah.
Second runner-up is John Cena versus Shawn Michaels with 15%. Third runner-up is John Cena versus Randy Orton with 10% of the vote. Honorable mentions totaling 27% included Batista versus Edge, Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump, John Cena versus Umaga, Carlito versus Ric Flair, Team 3D versus the Steiner Brothers, Montel Vontavious Porter, I'm just going to say MVP, versus Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Chris Harris versus James Storm, and Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Well, there we go. So that Batista one, they love that. They love that Batista angle.
Who would you say won that one?
Oh, it's got to be fucking PWI. Actually, I don't know because you know what? I'm going to go with Observer because I remember the Batista Taker Mania match, I remember being surprised by how good it was.
Yeah.
Because it was a good match, so I'll give them that.
Well, I can't remember if it was Taker or Batista, but I saw an interview with them, and they said that they were pissed that they weren't the main event, so they wanted to go out there and steal the show.
Well, was Taker champion then?
Yeah, that was the deal when, SmackDown had the big gold belt and Raw had and just like some years it was this match on last, other years it was that match.
So for the halftime show, we're going to flash back 30 sexy years.
Yes.
I would have been minus 1 years old, 1977. Actually, I was 72. I aged very well. And Andrew would have been not even thought of. You wouldn't even thought of them. So we have a few awards we're going to go through. I'm going to tell Andrew what they are, and he gets to guess. So announcer of the year.
Gordon Soley?
It is Gordon Soley. Manager of the year.
It's a Wizard?
One of my favorites. Grand Wizard. Yeah, I love the Grand Wizard. Rookie of the year.
Ricky Steamboat?
Okay, what the fuck is this? Are you looking this shit up? Come on. That's a bunch of bullshit.
No, if you remember, I guessed him when we were doing 76.
Fair enough.
So I knew he won one of those years.
Inspirational wrestler of the year.
The Bruno?
My boy, Bobby Backlund. Which, I don't know what the hell he did become inspirational wrestler of the year. He didn't win the belt yet. He didn't win until 78.
He was inspiring people.
Most hated wrestler of the year.
Is it Superstar Billy Graham?
Canberra. Talk about a guy who was kick ass in the late 70s into the 80s. Fucking worst thing that guy ever did is threw a boulder through a window. I mean, totally fucked him up.
Worst thing he ever did was not dye his hair. Like when he came out there looking like somebody's gym teacher, I mean, nobody took him seriously. But when he had that blonde curly hair, I mean, people bought him.
Man, you got to think for him. He's like killed, like early 80s, man. Patero's massive.
One of the best wrestlers in the world.
Missouri title. He's got the IC title. He could have gave Hogan a run if they would have done it right with him. I think by the time, when he gets back at 85, I think Vince is kind of like, you're going to go to jail. So I'm not going to do shit with you. Because you got to think, they do that in April of 84, him and Saito.
Yeah, but he was involved in the Andre haircutting angle. So, I mean, it's not like he was Steve Lombardi, just worked in house shows.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's just that's one of the worst things he could have ever done. I heard a story about him. You ever hear a story about him in prison?
No.
I guess so. I guess when they went to prison, him and Saito, either they both went to the same prison, which was like, you're really bright. You're really fucking bright all of a sudden. You should shut your curtains.
Okay, very fun.
Yeah. I'll tell the audience. So anyway, I shall wait for Andrew to come back. It's an interesting story. Okay, he's back. All right. So the story goes, him and Saito are either in the same prison. I think they are. And Saito's like the model prisoner, right? Like they love him. He's helping people. Like real good guy. They're like a minimum security. They're not in a big one. Fucking Patera is like freaking out, getting in fights and shit. They threw Patera in max security. Like they put him in a real prison after that. I guess Saito, they were just like, yeah, you're all right, just. Yeah. I mean, you gotta think the story goes that Saito.
Well, he was just there.
Yeah, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Patera's running through the bricks of the window. Saito was just sharing, like that was probably Saito's biggest regret. I shouldn't have shared a room with that fucking guy that night. Like, you know what I mean? Because that could have been really. Imagine it would have been Piper. Well, it was AWA. So let's think real quickly about AWA, and then we'll get to the most popular. 1984. Who's at AWA? That's a tough guy.
Blackwell, Road Warriors.
Imagine what the Road Warriors.
Baron von Raschke.
Imagine hitting Road Warriors in there with them. They would have killed them gobs.
Oh yeah.
Like, crazy. And they beat up Saito because he didn't know what they were saying. He couldn't figure it out. So, anyway, that's that. So most popular wrestler.
It's Bruno? No, wait, Dusty? Oh, Andre.
Match of the year.
Is it Graham and Bruno?
You are correct. Had a really hard time finding a picture of that would work. Kind of messed me up. Tag team of the year.
The Andersons?
You fucking cunt.
Oh!
Sorry, I was saying the C word people. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Don't like it. And last but least, Wrestler of the Year.
Is it Superstar Billy Graham?
It's Dusty Rhodes, baby. And that, everybody, is the 1977 awards. That came, you were talking about that yesterday. You were messaging me. Was it PWI Sports Review was doing that? Was that what it was?
Yeah, because for the longest time, I thought it was The Wrestler that did the year-end awards before Pro Wrestling Illustrated was a thing. But it was actually Sports Review Wrestling. So then I went on eBay looking for some because I thought, well, we have like the early 80s, which are super expensive and hard to find.
Well, we'll get them because I got that girl in Kansas City.
We've got some years in the 2000s, but to get Scott to commit to doing a pre-record for Newsstand versus Newsletter when all I have is 2000s, like, now let's do another day. But I thought maybe the 70s would get you passionate again, but there's no newsletter to combat it. We need to find some 70s newsletters.
Yeah, I'll find some somewhere. But anyway. All right, so that's the halftime show, everybody. So we're going to hop right back into the awards. So the next award is going to be... Oh, there'll be a format here. My format. Did you go last before we got to the halftime? Was it me or you?
I guessed first because it was feud.
Okay, so you got comeback this one. I have event of the year for me. So pick events of the year. You're just hoping it's Judgment Day.
I'm trying to remember anything in 07 that might have won. Did TNA do anything good that year? I'm going to say Victory Road.
Ring of Honor, Man Up.
Oh, okay.
All right, your comeback wrestler of the year, Shawn Michaels. Matt Hardy? Jeff Hardy?
Jeff Hardy, yep.
Okay.
Jeff Hardy wins comeback of the year.
Oh, I forgot to do my other stuff. You go ahead and I'll tell you the rest of the cards.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Jeff Hardy wins it with 22% of the vote. First runner-up is your boy Triple H with 19%. Second runner-up is Rey Mysterio Jr. with 13%. Third runner-up is the Steiner Brothers with 8% of the vote. And honorable mentions totaling 38% include Junior Fatu, Beth Phoenix, Big Daddy V,
Scotty
Kevin
B.
Nash,
And Captain Lou.
Mark Henry, Black Rain, also known as Dustin Rhodes, The Undertaker, Chuck Palumbo, and Jackie Moore.
Okay. So the rest of my awards for that one. Man Up won it. That was September 15th. WrestleMania was number 2.
Oh.
Pride was 3. Ring of Honor Driven. Pride was 4. Strike Force, like bullshit. It's not wrestling. Backlash, UFC. Yeah, okay, fuck that shit. All right. The next award is going to be Best Woman. And I'm going to... Oh, fuck. I'm going to pick Beth Phoenix. I don't know, man.
Woman of the Year also goes to Candice Michelle.
I almost picked her. Yeah, I almost picked her. I was like, right there.
22% of the vote. First runner-up is Beth Phoenix with 21%. Second runner-up is Gail Kim with 14%. And third runner-up is Karen Angle with 10% of the vote. Honorable mentions totaling 33% include Melina, Awesome Kong, Mickey James, Kelly Kelly, Vicky Guerrero, Dixie Carter, Ashley Massaro, Roxy Laveau, Tracy Brooks, and ODB. And let me just say,
go ahead.
Do you know what Kelly Kelly's real name is?
No.
Barbie Blank.
Barbie Blank? Like blank?
Barbie, like blank tape. Barbie Blank is this woman's real name, and they just said Kelly Kelly.
Yeah, it was fucked up. You know what's crazy thing? But there's just someone out there that knows this shit inside and out from 2007. Like they can give you every fucking dark match and everything like that. All right.
It's possible. I mean, we just happened to get involved in wrestling when it was hot.
Yeah.
But imagine if we were like 5 to 11 in 2007. I mean, we would like know where the Raws emanated from. We would know the pay-per-view dark matches and stuff. Like we would know that shit. I don't know any of it.
I don't think our brain would be able to take all that. All right, for me, it's best non-wrestler.
Is it Vince?
No, Vince was second. Larry Sweeney. Yeah. Vince was second. Jim Cornette was third. Yeah. He's probably didn't do anything. Jim Mitchell, William Regal, Shamel, Karen Angle, Lacey, Estrada. They're oh fuck, man. You know his ring announcer. JBL, Kevin Nash, and Conan.
What was Jim Cornette doing in 2007?
I don't have a fucking clue. All right. Most hated wrestler for you, most overrated for me. You pick first.
I'm going to say Trips. Oh, yeah.
The Great
Yeah, but to be fair, who's rating Great Khali?
Oh, they picked them. Kennedy was second, which I don't like that because I liked Kennedy. I really liked Kennedy a lot. Maybe not that great in the ring. That guy had a ton of charisma, and then he fucked it all up by hurting that piece of shit Orton. Triple H, Batista, Bobby Lashley, Big Daddy V, Randy, I Suck Orton, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Masahiro Masawa. Yeah, Masawa wasn't that hot in 07. But, yeah, so for you, most hated? Vince.
It's your boy.
Who's I can't see it. Well, okay. Oh, fucking that piece of shit.
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Wins most hated wrestler of the year with.
He was a heel that year, people. You think Luger turned a lot? Holy fuck, man, that guy turned nonstop.
Well, I think he also got votes for. No, he didn't. Never mind. Yeah, so Randy Orton wins most hated wrestler of the year with 36% of the vote. First runner-up is Kurt Angle with 27%. Second runner-up is the Great Khali with 15%. Third runner-up is Robert Roode with 6% of the vote. And honorable mentions totaling 16% include Edge, Team 3D, Umaga, Vince McMahon, Christian Cage, MVP, Melina, Carlito, and The Miz.
All right. The next one for you, the Stanley Weston Award. I'm picking the Moolah to win that.
It is Nick Bockwinkel.
Okay. What did he do in 07?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
He won the Stanley Weston Award. That's what he did.
All right. So, yeah. There's no runner-ups for that. It's just that award, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Worst show. That's mine here. You got to know this one.
Great American Bash?
No, man. The famous December to Dismember. The one that basically... Was that the one that got rid of ECW altogether? Or was that the next year?
No, that was that one.
They had the lowest buy rate. It was just...
Now, that happened in 06, didn't it?
Let's take a look here. 1 second. I'll find out. Let me go look at my awards. Yep, December of 06. So, no, ECW wasn't done to that because that's where Benoit was when Benoit killed the family. It was the next year that it happened. TNA Lockdown, WWE Unforgiven, TNA Hard Justice, UFC 78, TNA Victory Road, TNA Final Resolution, and WWE Judgment Day is that. 2 more awards to go in the main one.
Yep.
Match of the year. And I did not watch this match, which I should. It looks like a good match. I should watch it, but I didn't get a chance. I was so busy.
Is this for you? I'm guessing.
This is mine, yeah.
Is it Morishima and Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness and Kenta?
No, you came really close, brother. It's Morishima and Danielson, like singles.
Okay.
Match. And then I'm not gonna try the second one because I can't pronounce the names. Brian Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, John Cena, Michaels, John Cena, Omega, Briscoes against Kevin Steen and El Generico, Cena versus Michaels versus Edge versus Orton, and then a bunch of other ones. So, and yours, I'm gonna pick Michaels and Cena for Mania.
Yes, but no, it was the Raw match.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
And I was reading the little blurb, and it said it was the first Raw match to win Match of the Year since, I don't even know if I should say this.
There. Go ahead.
Okay. It was Michaels and Jannetty in 93, so there had been a long time.
Yeah.
So they win it with 27%. First runner-up is Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe from Final Resolution with 18% of the vote. Second runner-up is John Cena versus Shawn Michaels from Mania with 17%. Third runner-up is Nigel McGuinness versus Takeshi Morishima with 8%. And honorable mentions totaling 30% include Homicide versus Samoa Joe from January 27, Batista versus Ken Kennedy from January 28, Undertaker versus Batista from April 1st. Takeshi Morishima and Bryan Danielson versus Nigel Medina Kenta from May 12th. Rob Van Dam versus Randy Orton from June 3rd. Ultimate X Gauntlet match from July 15th. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe from August 12th. Sting versus Kurt Angle from October 14th. And Batista versus Undertaker from November 18th.
All right. So I'll pick. I don't know because I didn't see any. I should have watched them, man. So I'm not gonna pick. But anyway, last but not least, wrestler of the year. I'm gonna pick for you, John Cena.
Absolutely. John Cena is your 2007 PWI Wrestler of the Year with 39% of the vote. First runner-up is Kurt Angle with 20%. Second runner-up is Batista with 11%. Third runner-up is Randy Orton with 7%. And honorable mentions totaling 23% include The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Christian Cage, Takeshi Morishima, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Triple H, and CM Punk.
All right. Guess mine.
Is it Morishima? Oh.
John Cena wins it. Let's take a look. John Cena wins it. Number 2 is Danielson, Tahisha. I can't pronounce his last name. Okay. It's 3. Michaels, Marissa Mystico, Masahiro Misawa, Kurt Angle, Edge. Our mentions Randy Orton. Fucking Benoit's in that list, man. That's so weird. He's in their own mentions. People voted for him.
Let's just say he didn't kill anybody. He wrestled half a year. And where are the great 2007 Chris Benoit matches? And can you go back and watch any of them without feeling like you have to take a bath afterwards?
I don't bath, I shower. I don't sit my own.
Whatever.
But yeah, that's really fucked up that he's in there. That's wrestler of the year. But I've seen him wins it for both. Yeah. So that's that.
So Observer shuts out PWI yet again.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah. What do you got do you got predictions, do you?
No. I've got some year-end review unofficial official awards, but I find they're rarely funny. I'll say a few of them. Yeah. Illustrious career reduced to one word. Ron Damn Simmons. Most vomit.
Maybe Benoit with murder. Fucking, that's one word he used for that.
Yeah. Most vomit-inducing rain attire, Big Daddy V. Peggy Sue's daughter, Cherry. Off His Rocker Award, Vince McMahon. Worse teeth than Isaac Yankem, Snitsky. And finally, Yokozuna never looked so good. Victoria dressed in her sumo costume.
All right, let's get to the secondary awards here.
Sure.
I'll let you guess here. Let me just bring that up. Most outstanding wrestler.
Danielson?
Yep. Biggest box office draw.
Mystico?
John Cena. Best on interviews.
Cena?
Yeah, which is surprising. Santino Marella gets number 2 on that list. Most charismatic.
Cena?
Yeah, they love Cena this year. They're big fans of Cena. Best technical wrestler.
Danielson?
Yeah. Bruiser Brody Award.
Is it Morishima?
Yeah. Best flying wrestler.
Mystico?
Yeah. Promotion of the year.
Is it UFC?
Yeah, which is bullshit. It's not fucking wrestling. So Ring of Honor is too. Best weekly TV show.
New Japan.
Fucking Ultimate Fighter, which is not wrestling.
Oh.
So
okay.
Guess what's second?
Is it Raw?
Yeah, which is really surprising.
Well, our Ring of Honor didn't have TV. Nobody cared about TNA, and SmackDown didn't matter. I mean, what else would it be? Velocity?
Yeah, I guess. Best television announcer.
Mike Tenay?
Good old JR.
Okay.
Worst television announcer.
Is it the coach?
Don West. Coach is third.
Beautiful plaque. Okay, the first one is Billy Jack. Billy Jack was voted by all you fans all over the world as the most improved wrestler of the year, and I'd like to give him the plaque right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the man who received over 12,000 votes. 12,000 votes as the most popular wrestler of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the plaque, and now here's the man who won it by your choice, the former World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.